Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Ankit Agarwal from India. First of all, I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak here. This is my hospital situated at the banks of sacred river Ganges, and this is my beautiful city of Rishikesh. Coming to the topic of what we will be talking about in 2048, that is about 25 to 30 years from now. It will be something that we can only imagine now, just like a scene from a sci fi movie. Let me give you an analogy of phones. The phones have developed from fixed wired devices to present day wireless mobile devices. If at that time someone must have said that one day these phones will connect you on the go, that too with video facility, and in addition, they will act as a mode of entertainment, photography, payment, and whatnot, then someone would have laughed. And similar can happen with today's presentation also. But what is the norm now will be obsolete in 25 to 30 years from now, and what is just a simple idea today will be in day to day practice at that time. So in 2048, we will still be talking about A, B, C, D, and E. However, our interpretation will be different. We will be talking about artificial intelligence and automation, basic integration of systems, connectivity in real time, digitalization led advancements in equipment, techniques, and drugs, and educational transformation. So, what is artificial intelligence and automation? Technology is evolving at a fast pace. The electronics are programmable so that they are intelligent enough to modify their settings based on some feedback without the user input. And this is artificial intelligence. In aviation industry, there has been a transition from pilot controlled flying to autopilot modes. The mass rapid transport systems as metros and subways are also increasingly becoming driverless. And same concept is developing in self-driven cars also. I am sure that by 2048, this technique will have amalgamation into anesthesia also. So, what will artificial intelligence give to us? It will give us virtual anesthesia suites where anesthesiologists can work remotely. There will be robotic intubation or self airway securing devices, which will be camera and sensor based, and they will be able to self maneuver themselves inside the airway. So, a minimum airway opening will be required, and airway manipulation will also be avoided in case of difficult airways. By 2048, all sedation and maintenance of anesthetics will be automated. Whether they are IV or inhalational anesthetics, there would be algorithm based servo motors which will regulate the vaporizers or the infusion pump either way to increase or decrease the delivery of anesthetics based on an electronic input such as BIS guidance. So the question arises, if artificial intelligence will be so much developed, will it replace the human anesthesiologist? The answer is no, never. Artificial intelligence will just aid in precision of techniques. It will aid in lessening the number of complications and predict impending complications and guide treatment accordingly. As a result, there will be more time available to the anesthetist for performing other procedures. The goal is to, instead of minimizing, we shall aim for zero errors. 3D and 4D printing will be in vogue by 2048. Earlier, there were block printing, then came the typewriters, and then the portable printers. But the basic difference between this printing and 3D printing is in that in 3D printing, an additional dimension of depth has been added in to length and width. So practically, this technology not only prints but manufactures from raw materials on a miniature scale. What happens sometimes we encounter an atypical airway. Either it may be due to congenital anomaly or some anatomical malformation, that usual airway devices are not suitable for a particular patient, maybe due to air leak or some other factor. So these 3D printing technology can manufacture and deliver tailor-made devices for that particular patient with some simple measurements like anatomical landmarks or imaging. And some example of 3D printed materials are shown in these images. 4D printing adds time as the fourth dimension. Addition of time means that these devices will be able to change themselves with the passage of time. And researches are already underway in development of implants for tracheomalacia, which can bend and grow with time. Traditionally, we have been taught about system-wise, like the CNS, the respiratory, cardiovascular, etc. And similarly, the monitoring is also dedicated system-wise, like BIS for CNS monitoring, respiratory rate, tidal volume for respiratory monitoring, ejection fraction for cardiovascular monitoring. But gradually, we have to drift from this and we have to consider patient physiology as a whole. For example, suppose bronchospasm develops in a patient. So it is detected only when the patient develops manifestations. And by the time it is managed, sometime it gets converted to an emergency in the post-operative unit. So we need to have sophisticated monitoring so that all physiological parameters of all the systems, they are integrated such that even if one parameter from a particular system changes and it has effect on another system, that it alerts us. The goal is to detect complications preemptively rather than after manifestations. And it will be possible when there is advanced physiological monitoring, integration of systems, miniaturization of electronics, and development of non-invasive monitoring. By 2048, almost all anesthesia equipment will be integrated. And by integration, I do not mean mere central monitoring or a mere display of all the parameters on a single screen. By integration, I means that all the equipment will be interconnected and there will be a feedback mechanism whereby a change in parameter of any monitor will be able to change the delivery from another equipment based on feedback. And not only equipment, but the anesthesiologists will also be connected remotely in real time. So by 2048, probably the dictum call for help will be changed to connect for help. The miniaturization of electronics has revolutionized all spheres of life. If we talk of bronchoscopy, which is an integral part of anesthesia and critical care, presently we talk about the manner of insertion, associated risks, and its sterilization so that infection is prevented. However, in 25 to 30 years from now, we will be having sophisticated high definition cameras, advanced sensors, and with imaging and these sensors, a virtual image will be generated without going inside. We have already seen certain advancements in ultrasonography. Earlier, a patient had to be transported to the radiology department for a USG scan, but then came the concept of point of care at the bedside, and today we have mobile phone enabled USG systems. But by 2048, we will be having such portable CT scans and MRIs also, particularly for critically ill ICU patients. Even USG imagery will not be shades of gray. There will be distinctly colored USG and there will be distinction of tissues, parenchyma, muscles and nerves by high definition colors. So this will again pave a way for remote robotic regional anesthesia. There is limited time to explain what nanotechnology is, but nanotechnology will enable us to have targeted drug delivery. The drugs will be delivered only to specific receptors where they will act, and all the systemic side effects of the drug will be avoided. There will also be designer anesthetic drugs which will be tailor-made for a particular patient, and all the side effects of that drug harmful to that patient will be avoided. By nanotechnology, we would be so much in situation of control of pain that we will not be talking about post-operative pain anymore by 2048. There would be nanorobots, which would be very small particles able to be injected into the bloodstream where they will perform their specific task of oxygenation, toxin scavenging, drug delivery, etc. And then they will be able to be excreted from the body. If we talk of ICU, our present concerns are non-availability of newer antibiotics because of antibiotic resistance and ventilator-associated pneumonias. But by 2048, we will not have to look forward for availability of newer antibiotics because we will have alternative to antibiotics, which will prevent and treat infection. There will also be newer modes of oxygenation rather than ventilators that can act directly at the cellular level. then educational transformations will be one big change by 2048. I have always considered anesthesiology training and aviation training to be very similar. Intubation can be considered as takeoff, extubation can be considered as landing, and in between the experience can be from a pleasant flight to a turbulent one. The major difference between anesthesiology and aviation training is that the pilots are trained on simulators before they fly an actual plane. So they are well versed with all the complications or catastrophes that they can encounter during a flight. So we need to practice this in anesthesiology teaching also, so that the trainees, before they touch an actual patient, they are confident enough to handle all the catastrophes that can encounter. The recent pandemic has already shifted all teaching to online modes. We need to further shift this teaching to simulation based, so that by 2048, in addition to seminars, journal clubs, and case presentations, we will also be talking about online logs of trainees, their simulation of catastrophes, their reaction to catastrophes, and their on the spot decisions. What will be the fate of anesthesiologists by 2048? Being an anesthesiologist does not simply mean limited to operating rooms or resuscitation. There is increasing awareness about the importance of anesthesiologists among general public as well as healthcare professionals. The control of ICUs will be more and more under anesthesiologists. And with default experience of anesthesiologists of dealing with so many disciplines and situations, that future anesthesiologists will be the most suitable person for top administrative post of any hospital. With this, I end my presentation, and I just want to say that what seems a complex dream today shall be the norm tomorrow. Thank you, and hope to see you all again in 2048.